And so you hit on just some things like, and I'm so glad you talk about inclusive audiences. So you hit on a few things when we get into diversity, equity, inclusion, or even I like to call it JEDI, because it's like social justice, equity, equality, diversity, and inclusion. And so given the events of last year, audiences were holding brands accountable, not just making like a statement of support and be like, we stand with the Black community, but like our whole board is white, woo. Like, no, like brands who didn't really have a brand purpose or advocate, like you said, Sheereen, got dragged, you're gonna get dragged. And if you look at just kind of advocating and activism, like I hear people say like, I might not, be out on the street like protesting, but I only align myself to brands that have values that align with my own. A lot of people say that. And so when you're looking at just the content in terms of like a DE&I or from an advocacy standpoint, Shreya, I would like to ask you, just given, some of the work that happens at Change and like what Change stands for, like what types of content, or like what are you seeing that individuals are either advocating for? What are they sharing? What are they passionate about? Because we really, like Sheereen said, the social accountability. So what are you seeing on your side?
Well, the short answer is it's always personal. So whatever personally resonates with someone is what they're going to share and what they're going to advocate for. And that's just always how it's been. It was like that before social media. It will be like that after social media. The long answer is, I think it goes back to this whole cancel culture thing that we were talking about. I kind of really hate that word, actually, because what it really is something that fills the void in the absence of actual systems of accountability, which we don't have. And so people have created their own system of accountability. It's not perfect by any means, but it's all a lot of people really have at the moment. We've never really been able to challenge power the way we have in this new digital age. And that's why like change.org, like we're an open platform. We don't really have we don't really advocate as Change for anything. What it is a platform for people who don't have a way to make the change they want to see, speak up for what they want to see. There's a reason why, our two biggest petitions last year were justice for George Floyd and justice for Breonna Taylor. It's because people were at their wits' end with seeing this happen time and time again and nothing happening. And the phrase collective action gets the goods. Mm-hmm. That's basically what it was, right? Everybody speaking up together. And at some point, you can't really ignore, tens of millions of petition signatures or, all this noise on social media. So, I'm kind of rambling at this point, but
you're not rambling. No, I think what you're saying, I like that because you and I talked about it, you're like, I don't like cancel culture, but it's almost like we need a standard, like how OWN has a standards in practice. We need, as a culture, as a society, we need a standards in practice.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't have that yet.
Right. That's what you're saying.
So, because I'm still kind of young, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody successfully model holding themselves accountable. Because it's a really deeply uncomfortable thing to do, but change is uncomfortable. And I think as a society, we're still trying to get accustomed to that. And so we're kind of in the growing pains, I hope, of seeing what real accountability is. That said, for people who, are worried about their brand and their reputation, that is still a very valid concern to have, especially in professional contexts. I am a comedian. I post a lot of crazy stuff. You could go to my handles right now and be like, I cannot believe that she is employed. And truth be told, I can't either. But at the end of the day, if you were to take a harm matrix and apply it to my stuff, like poop jokes are not harming anybody except my own dignity. a lot of the things that, you know, we're taught to, especially as women, to that we're taught to, you know, think twice before posting. I would actually challenge people to enjoy your lives, post what you want, make sure you're not hurting anybody. And if people confront you about it, you better have a good answer as to why you're not hurting anybody, rather than, oh yeah, like I was doing a scandalous dance and that reflects badly on you, as opposed to, I was just enjoying my life on my time when you're not paying me. We're a media savvy generation right now. And the accountability that we are demanding of people in power, we should also seek to have that for ourselves.
That makes perfect sense, Shreya. Thank you for that.